Elvis has left the building, buddy. How you doing?
E-Man, I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. My Mike Lang reference today ties together perfectly with the Pittsburgh Pirates season of 2026. Elvis has left the building. Although, Braxton Ashcraft had a great game today. But they're still done. But hey, welcome to the HillbillYinzer podcast for this month, this week, this day. I'm here, Gus Stevens, with my great pal, V.J. Nemesis Bulick, to talk some Pittsburgh, West Virginia, planet Earth sports, anything that comes to our mind. There's a lot of great topics out there. But it's great to see you, buddy. Are you ready to talk?
E-Man, I'm ready to go. Let's do this, Gus. Let's do this. Where do you want to start? What do you want to start with?
Well, I think the timely thing is to talk about the Pirates' demise, because we do have a great feature coming up tonight discussing what was the greatest Pittsburgh Pirate ball club that did not win the World Series, because there was a lot of them. And up until 1993, the Pirates were one of the best franchises in the major leagues. It's hard to even imagine that now. So there was a lot of great teams and a lot of great players. So we're going to go over those 5 or 6 teams that didn't win it, that could have won it, that should have won it. And we're going to make our picks on which one was the best team. But I throw it out to you. Is this year's Pirate team the most disappointing Pirate team of all time? And if not, what team can you think of that is?
Wow. All right, so we're comparing something that season hasn't finished. We know that this organization is going to finish probably 4th or 5th, where we are going to, a little bit later in the podcast, talk about teams that actually finished first, made the playoffs, and didn't get to the World Series. So I would say, obviously, within the last 7 years of Cherrington's tenure, yes, this is probably the most disappointing Pirates baseball team. Now, that's not to say it's the most disappointing Pirates baseball team of all time, because I probably couldn't even remember all the times that I had been disappointed by the Pirates, whether it was through the 80s, whether it was through the late 90s into the 2000s with the opening of PNC Park. But, recent times, this one is a good one that takes the cake. We had a lot of hope. You had a lot of great hope in March. We talked about this, and I sat there and said, you know what, we're not going to get to 500. And you were proving me wrong the entire time up until right after the All-Star break. And that became Cherrington. I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, they're going to be playing games, whether they're in or they're out, playing these games, going through the motions, whatever you want to call it, to roughly 8,000 to 10,000 people at home for the remainder of the year because of Cherrington. It's an emotional game. You get a lot of highs, you get a lot of lows, and the Pirates have had a lot of lows. When was the last time we had a winning streak over 5? I mean, I don't even know if we had one this year of 5, but we've had a lot of 4-game losing streaks, maybe 5-game losing streaks. They've been inconsistent all year, unfortunately, and now the pitching staff, which was supposed to be the strong point, is just falling apart. I mean, look at Keller, the guy that I think should have been kept and ran like a thoroughbred horse, has faltered, skins, with whatever issues, if we want to say they're mechanical, or they want to say, I don't know what, he's exhausted. And then you have Ashcraft, who, again, you said he pitched a really good game today. He's going to be running out of gas soon. Carmen needs to fill the tank up. He's struggling right now. And then you got Forrest Gump's Bubba, and we don't even know where he's going sometimes because we can't find him through the jungle. So I think it's a shame. And they need to get rid of They need to get rid of Chubbington. He needs to be gone, period. End of story. No more excuses. And Travis Williams needs to be gone. I got to throw Travis Williams' name out there, too. President of the team needs to be gone. And I don't know what else to say, Bub. I mean, it's disappointing because we all thought that we would get there, and you can't use injuries as an excuse.
Well, the reason I think this is the most disappointing Pirates team in my memory is that if you sat here in spring training or after the first couple of weeks of the season And you fast forwarded to 65 to 70% of the way through the season and said to everybody who cared, we're going to have a top 5 offense, top 5 in home runs, top 5 in OPS, top 5 in runs scored. We don't hit in the clutch very well, but if you said to me that the Pirates were going to be top 5 in the major leagues, by the way, not the National League only, and we had Paul Skeens, a veteran Mitch Keller, a rehabbing stud Jared Jones coming back, and Braxton Ashcraft, if he could keep going with what he was doing the second half of last year, which I think everybody was confident in that. And you said all that stuff, and then, we knew that the bullpen was crap. We knew that Dennis Santana and Soto are not natural-born closers, but we thought they could piecemeal it together. If you would have put all those things together, you would have at least said that the Pirates were going to be an 84-win club, something like that, which would have them in the wild card conversation a lot further than what has happened in real life. So not only does the team fulfill that top 5 prophecy, but you got a healthy pitching staff. They've talked about Skeens losing 2 miles an hour on his fastball and on most of his power pitches. But I think he's trying to learn how to pitch. I think that he's intentionally taking velocity off to try to learn, his inner Greg Maddux or whatever. And he's getting burned by it. He's given up more home runs than he should. But his ERA is still like 3.70 or something like that. I realize for him that's catastrophic, but an ERA of 3.70 is not bad. It's just it's horrible because it's Paul Skeens and we thought he was going to be the greatest pitcher of all time. They totally screwed up the Carmen Mlodzinski thing. We could go over that till the cows come home. But the bottom line is this team should be above 500 right now. There's no way you can have that type of offensive output. And Ryan O'Hearn's a good player, man, but we're not talking about Lou Gehrig here. We're not talking about Roberto Clemente. We're talking about Ryan O'Hearn. They should be able to win ball games without him in there. O'Neal Cruz was showing some promise, especially against left-handed pitching earlier this year. But he's O'Neal Cruz. If the guy hit 25 home runs this year, he was going to give back 35 runs with dumbass stuff out in the field. I don't know if you follow the Fangraphs stuff like most people do, but O'Neal Cruz is the worst defender on our team outside of Nick Gonzalez, but it's not Nick's fault that they put him at third base every day. Nick just has to go out there and play whatever they tell him to play. So why is this team 6 games under 500 and going nowhere? Donnie Kelly, of course, Ben Cherrington and his lack of foresight on the bullpen. Those 5 to 7 or 8 games that they pissed away early in the season, that everyone's got the whole attitude, it's a long season, maybe I shouldn't have pinch hit this guy there. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this pitcher in there. Maybe I should have let the pitcher go a little longer. All that stuff adds up. It added up to 20 blown saves, and now they're sunk. But those are all the reasons why I think this is the most disappointing team that we've had. Because I'm not saying they're going to win a division or win the National League or the World Series, but they should be a winning team at the very minimum.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I agree that they should be a winning team, but I still think that a couple things. Number one, their fundamentals, it's like the Pirates haven't done fundamentals in so long. And there's too many errors, too many mental mistakes. We don't do a lot of sacrificing. We don't play a lot of small ball. I know that it hit 5. I know they hit a lot of home runs. I get that, but we got to move. I mean, the last 3 or 4 games with the Marlins, we've only scored like 0, 1, and 2 runs. It's the small things that we just don't do properly. And remember when we talked about the pitching before the season? I had made the comment that we should get Verlander, and who was the other guy?
Max Scherzer.
And Scherzer. Now, and we both talked about that and say, how cool would that be? Now, that would be a PR wonder dream to have those two, and then with Paul Skeens. Now, but the two of them, as veterans, could have helped Paul Skeens. Skeens didn't have anybody as a vet, even Keller. And Keller wasn't that guy. Keller's just a pitcher. He's just a starting pitcher. He's not one of those guys that's going to take over, be a vet, be a teacher, be a guidance, everything. But it would have been nice to have one of those two, if not two of those, in the rotation. I mean, you spent $12 million on Ozuna. Really? And you couldn't have dished out $10 million a piece on either one of those. There are so many bad decisions that led to so many things. And it's, again, I think us as Pirates fans, you get excited, but you almost get to the point where it's Chubbington. We're getting used to it. So now you're getting numb to it. And every year it's like, okay, it's going to be the same old stuff. But then everybody's going to scream that there's nobody attending games, which really doesn't even matter anymore because of the ticket revenue sharing. It just sucks because Mark Madden is sometimes one angry dude with Benz, and I call bullshit on him saying the Pirates, Pittsburgh is not a baseball team. Pittsburgh is a baseball team. You have to put a winning product on the field. If you put a winning product on the field, people will come. I mean, what did I tell you? 7 years of the Tampa Bay Rays and the Milwaukee Brewers. And both those clubs have been number one twice. The same amount of years at Cherrington, Chubbington, whatever we want to call him anymore, the Jagoff of the week, the month, the year, the decade. He's never been above fourth. But Tampa Bay and Milwaukee, same small market team. It's because they pick poor people. And you just get irritated after a while. It's like the Tomlin thing last year. And if the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays can do it, really? The Pirates can't do it? They can. They hire the wrong people. It's irritating.
Yeah, the decision-making's been frustrating as well. Like today, they let Ashcraft go over 80 pitches. Why aren't you babying him? He's coming off of Tommy John surgery. He's really in the same boat as Jared Jones. I know people would argue that he's further along than Jared Jones because he's further removed from the surgery. But I think that's BS. They're in the same boat. But you're babying Jared Jones. And today you let Ashcraft pitch a complete game, 3-hitter. It was an awesome game. But why didn't they yank him out at 65 pitches if you're trying to protect these guys? They just keep flip-flopping on their logic, and it's not serious. They're not serious baseball people. But anyway, you want to move on to our awesome feature here?
Yes, but first I want to make sure that we talk about Crawford's Black and Gold.
Yes, sir.
And we also want to make sure that everybody has to know that we get a winner for the Penguins prize pack. I can't remember Eli's last name. What was Eli's last name?
I believe it's Kotash.
Okay, Eli Kotash is the winner of the Penguins prize pack.
I'm sorry.
Courtesy of Crawford. Kotash.
Eli
Whoa, my bad.
Yes,
Eli,
sir.
I apologize totally 100%, but you are the winner of the Penguins prize pack, courtesy of Crawford's Black and Gold. We will actually be doing another prize pack now, a Steelers one with TJ Watt's jersey and a lot of other nice memorabilia and gear to go along with it. But Crawford's Black and Gold, the shop at Breezewood is awesome, but online you can do a lot of shopping as well. So please visit Crawford's Black and Gold.
And that website is CrawfordsGiftShop.com.
Yeah, I forget that.
If you want to go there and shop. Great stuff. I got this shirt there. Cool ass shirt.
Nice.
It's even got the Bucko patch.
The Bucko's patch too. Look at that. That is sweet. That is sweet. All right. So the next segment we want to talk about, which one do we want to go with? Do we want to go with one of the greatest Pirates baseball teams that did not win a World Series?
Yes, sir. Let's go over them real quick, and we'll make our selection. I've got 2 finalists, but I want to hear your thoughts.
So I got to find out where mine are at.
All right. Well, I'll start with I'll do the first one, which is the 1992 Buccos, 111th season of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Their 23rd season at Three Rivers Stadium. They won the National League East with a record of 96-66. This team had Barry Bonds. Jim Leland was the manager. This was the year that Randy Tomlin did his thing, and everybody was like, wow, Randy Tomlin. And Tim Wakefield did his thing. He was a rookie that year, throwing the knuckleball. Andy Van Slyke and Barry Bonds made the All-Star team. The team hit 106 home runs and had 656 ribbies. The team pitching was ERA was 3.35 and 43 saves. So that's the 92 team. You want to move on to 72, or you want to talk about 92 at all?
No, I would say 92 is a team that definitely should be in the talking for one of those seasons that were let down. I was in Texas, so I remember this perfectly. Irritated beyond belief, but still, it was a very good team that needs to be placed up there. But I'll let you continue.
Oh, you want me to do the next one? Okay, 72.
Yeah.
Defending World Series champion Pirates from the 1971 season finished first again in the NL East, 96 and 59. Man, these were the days. They lost 3-2 to the Big Red Machine in the NLCS, but the Buccos did put up a hell of a fight there. Led 3-2 in the ninth inning of Game 5. It was only a 5-game series back then. The team averaged 274, 110 homers, 654 ribbies, and the ERA of the staff was 2.81, 48 saves. I mean, that was a great team as well. Easily could have gone back to the World Series the year after winning it in 71 over the Orioles. You got the 2015 team, which went 98 and 64. This might be my favorite team. They're definitely in the finals for me. Mark Melanson, did an amazing job as closer. You get what you got to have. Kutch, just awesome. Starling Marte, I think Starling Marte was drafted right after Bryce Harper, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right?
And I always wanted Starling Marte to have a greater career than Bryce Harper, which he was on the way to doing, but he just fell off with injuries. This is the A.J. Burnett, Garrett Cole,
good team.
Russell Martin. I mean,
good freaking team.
This is one of my favorite teams. The whole fairy tale Jung Ho Gong thing, and they hit 140 homers. Team ERA 3.21, 54 saves. So I'd have to put 2015 near the top. But we can go through the rest of them. You want to start with the next one?
Yeah. Hey, the 1977 Pittsburgh Pirates was their 96th season of the franchise. They were 91st in the National League. Wait, what's that?
That was their 91st year. Yeah.
I got you, the 91st. All right, so the Pirates finished second in the National League with a record of 96-66 for a season of players. Last names appeared on the back of the jersey. How unique is that? 1977. Before that, they didn't. Then all of a sudden, they did. Your all-star were Dave Parker, Candelaire, and Goose Gossage. Remember that name? Goose Gossage. Jeez, Zooey. Team average was 274, 133 home runs, 678 ribbies. Team pitching was 361 and 39 saves. We also have the 1962 Pittsburgh Pirates season. They went 93 and 68, but they finished in 4th place, 8 games behind the Giants. Pirates, let's see, team average was 268, 108 home runs, 655 RBs. Team pitching at 337 and 41 saves. Another historic and fun team to watch was the 1990 Pittsburgh Pirates. That was the 109th season. Let's see, they finished first in the league with a 95-67 record. We won't talk about their loss to the Reds in 4 games, 4-2. Barry Bonds was your MVP. Here's a name that we don't want to talk about. What we do want to talk about, Sid Bream, was a very
Bonds
big.
And Sid Bream are tied together in a lot of ways. Like Barry Bonds couldn't throw out Sid Bream on Francisco
but he was instrumental.
Cabrera's
so that's all I got to
base
say. On this team, he was instrumental. Doug Draback played a big role. Leland was the manager of the year. The guy I always loved watching the play was Andy Van Slyke. You had Bonds, you had Benelia. You had a great team. The team average, though, was only 259, 138 home runs, 693 ribbies. Team pitching was 340 with 43 saves.
Neil Heaton. John Smiley.
John Smiley. Added a lot of names there. The 91 team, 110th in franchise history. Let's see, they finished consecutive Pirates, no. So they finished first, 98-64, finished the season with the best record in Major League Baseball. But unfortunately, they were defeated by the Atlanta Braves. All-stars on this team were Bobby Bonilla and John Smiley. Team average was 263, 126 home runs, 725 ribbies, which is the most we've seen so far. Team pitching 334 and 51 saves. The 2013 season, again, was the 127th season of the National League, 13th season at PNC Park, and they were 94 and 68. So on that team, man, you had a lot of things. Kind of like that 15 team, you had the All-Stars of Pedro Alvarez. Oh, my God. How about Jason Grilli, Jeff Locke, McCutcheon, Mark Malenkon? Then you had players of the week. You had Martin Alvarez. How about Francisco Liriano? That's a name to bring back. Holy cow. That was Garrett Cole's rookie year. Hurdle was the manager. That's right. Comeback player of the year was even Liriano. Manager of the year was Clint Hurdle. So that was an incredible. Oh, an MVP was Andrew McCutcheon. So that was an incredible season. Only still to go down to the Cardinals that year. And then I think we have a couple more here. The 2014 Pirates.
This just illustrates how good those teams were, 90 through 92 and 2013 through 2015. You know,
right.
Other than those 6 years, it's been a long-suffering existence. But anyway, go on, buddy.
No, that's what I'm saying. In 2014 was another one. However, they only had 88 wins and 74 losses. Their team averages, I think, 245, 61, 161 home runs, 603 on RBs, 326 pitching, and 55 saves. But we're going to talk a little bit about all these and kind of take at least the top four. I just want to make a mention. There are two teams that we will probably never, ever talk about. You have the 1903 Pirates. They were incredible. They were 91 and 49. But they lost to the Boston Americans back then in the first World Series that ever occurred. Their team average was 259 with 156 RBI or home runs, 659 RBIs. Team pitching at 347-48. That's just a notable. But I'm gonna say this one right now, and this is coming from me to you. I think our honorary best Pittsburgh Pirate team that never won a World Series was the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates. The 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates won 103 games and lost 36.
They would have won.
The only reason why they didn't was because there was no World Series.
There was no World Series.
So there was no World Series. They won the pennant, an overwhelming 27.5 games over the Brooklyn Super Boss, whatever the hell that was. Excuse my language. First Pirates team to ever win 100 wins. This is the franchise record, still standing for winning percentage of 741. Winning percentage at home at 789. This team was incredible and should just get an honorary note that just because they didn't play the World Series, they should be one, if not the team that had the best Pirates team to never win anything. So,
all right,
with that said,
have you made your pick then?
Is
02 your pick?
Well, are you picking two and I'm picking two, or are we talking? Because I know who I'm picking. I know one of them.
Yeah.
I'm going 1972 Pirates. I will go with the 1972 Pirates. Roberto Clemente, Gene Klein. You got Manny Sanguin. You got Rennie Stenich. You got Jackie Hernandez, who was one of the uniform guys. I can't think Bill Robinson's going to be there. Willie Starnes was going to be there. The fact that this pitching staff had an ERA of 2.81 blows my mind. Blows my mind. And the only reason why they didn't get to the World Series is because of a wild pitch against the Reds in Game 5. No. I still think the 1972 Pirates, in my opinion, are the best team never to win a World Series right now.
That's solid. That's solid. I could easily go with that team, but I'm going to go with 2015 because it was my favorite team of that era. I just loved watching them day in and day out. They fought, they had an edge. A.J. Burnett and Russell Martin and just all the other really great players that they had in their prime at that time. So I'm going 2015, but all of these other teams you could easily go with because, like we had said at the beginning of this feature, up until 1992 and arguably 2015, the Pirates were one of the best franchises in baseball. We had 5 World Series at that time. Only the Cardinals and Yankees had more. Everything's kind of gone down since then, but I really enjoyed the 2015 team. And I think the Clint Hurdle just screwed up by bringing in Bobby LaFramboise, against the Cardinals. And that kind of screwed everything up. I mean, lefty's great, but in the playoffs, it's such a small sample size. You can't always just go with the data and the percentages. You got to go with your best guys. But I still think the 2015 team is the best to not make it to the World Series and certainly not win the World Series.
And you know what? It's honorable because you were an adult. I'm picking the 72, and I was only 6. So not that I know anything about it. It's just what I've read about that team. I mean, you could take a look at, like even what you said, the 91 team. 98 and 64 was incredible. And what was the other one where they would have won the division, but they lost it behind the Cardinals? That they won 98 games, but the Cardinals won 100 for the Central that year. I think that's the year they beat the Reds, right, to get in. Is that the 15 team?
One of the 70s teams.
So it's just, you're right. There's too many of them. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I wouldn't actually disagree.
Are you talking
with
about?
any of
The 15 team was a wild card. That's right.
Was the wild card with 98 wins.
98 wins. That was a hell of a team. All right, you want to move on to the number 5 feature? Plow through this real quick before the end of the pod?
Yeah, let's do that real quick. All right, folks. Now
all right, this is the feature that we're going from 1 to 99 players from Western PA or West Virginia or are connected to that region who wore the number 5. Great research here done by V. Bulick. You want to start it out?
I'm trying to do the best I can. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll go through. There's not a whole heck of a lot for the number 5. It's one of those things I think that is actually, when we're below the number 10, you are striving to find these athletes. So I'll start with the Steelers. There were only 2 that I could find with the Steelers. Craig Colquitt, a punter, 6 seasons, 96 games, average 41 yards per punt. And then there's Terry Hanratty. And we all know about Terry Hanratty, the Notre Dame grad, and now the Pittsburgh Steeler back in the late 60s into the 70s. 7 seasons, 47 games, only a 38% completion, 2478 yards. He had 24 TDs, unfortunately, 34 INTs. However, he was in 6 playoffs and 2 Super Bowls. So I only could find those 2 that were really worth it from the Steelers standpoint. Moving on to the Pirates, unless you want to pick a Steeler right now.
Yeah, I think the Steelers are not going to stack up with the number 5s very well, but look at the Pirates have some good names. Start off with the Jay Hay kid.
If everybody remembers Josh
entertaining
Harrison
players ever to wear 5 for the Pirates.
Yeah. He was our second and third baseman, 8 seasons, 642 games, 773 hits, average 277, 52 homers, 269 ribbies, and 3 playoff seasons with our Buccos that we just talked about that could never get over that threshold.
Then we have all day.
And then we have a guy that I don't know if anybody will remember, Tyke Redmond, center fielder. 5 seasons, 392 games, 343 hits. Still also batted .277. Only 15 homers and 105 RBIs. Then there's the painful one that we'll bring up, and that would be Sid Bream, first baseman.
He's eliminated.
He's eliminated already. I'll still give you the stats. 643 games, 544 hits. He had an average 269, 57 Harbies or home runs, and 293 RBs, one playoff season with the Pirates. The guy I like, because I do remember him, Bill Mad Dog Madlock. Third baseman, 7 seasons, 801 games, 870 hits, a 297 average. That's awesome for the Pirates.
Won a batting title.
He did play. He did, yes, and he did play for the Cubs prior to that. 68 home runs, 390 ribbies, one playoff, and one World Series victory. And then we do have a Hall of Famer.
Names are great.
Arky Vaughn. That's shortstop, third baseman, 110 seasons. Boy, I didn't spell that right. 1,411 games, 1,709 hits, a 324 average. 84 home runs, but 764 ribbies. You gotta love it, man. No power there, but that boy could bring people in. Now, mind you, Arky played from, was 10 seasons. He played from 1933 to 1943. The Pirates were probably just like they are now, at the bottom of the league. But this dude was awesome. So, there's, I look at Arky and I look at Bill Madlock. Those are my two guys I'm looking at.
Yeah,
I'll
and
go
you
with
have
you
Hal
getting
Smith
sit
on
out.
this. You have Hal Smith on this list as well, don't you?
Hal
Smith
but
didn't
I
have a
took him
great
off.
career, but Hal Smith was the guy who homered to put us ahead in the 1960 World Series Game 7 and had a great
Yes.
World Series. So hats off to Hal Smith. But, yeah, Arky Vaughn and Bill Madlock have got to be the finalists here. Do we need to pick that one now or move on to
No, we don't need to
Penguins?
pick. We'll go on to the Penguins because you're going to
Okay.
need to help me with how we actually
Yes.
say
Tonight's
these names.
feature,
Yes.
Vince Bulick reads hockey names. Go.
All right, so we got Ulf Samuelsson, defender, 8 seasons. I don't even know if I said his last name right.
Samuelsson.
Samuelsson. 8 seasons, 277 games, 11 goals, 83 assists, 2 Stanley Cups. Now, the problem we have here, these 3 guys are defenders. So they're a lack of everything. Then you got Derek Engeland, if that's how you say it.
Derek
All
Engeland.
right.
Yeah. Very
yeah,
strange spelling,
defender,
but what hockey name is not a strange spelling?
Yeah. 5 seasons, 243 games, 13 goals, 34 assists, 2 Stanley Cups as well. Then you got Ryan Shea, 3 seasons, 150 games, 9 goals, 33 assists, still with the team, etc. So that is the Penguins.
Okay.
And then we drop down to the college feature. Now, college and football.
Jesus,
I
if you go
found
through all these
with
Pitt
the
Panther names, I'm going to fall asleep, dude.
Okay.
Make it
With
fast.
the Panthers, Paul Martha was a wide receiver. 3 seasons, 30 games, 1048 yards, 10 TDs. Carson Long, if anybody will remember, he was only there 1 season, but it was in the 76 era when Tony Dorsett won. He averaged 8 points per game as a kicker. Tom Flynn had a great season as a defensive back, 4 seasons, 44 games, 8 interceptions, 2 punt return TDs. He went on to have a really nice NFL career as well. And then you have Nate Peterman, QB, 2 seasons after transferring from Tennessee, 26 games, 620 yards, 61 completion rate, not bad. 47 TDs, 15 interceptions, that's really good too. Then on the basketball, I know Ishmael Leggett, 2 seasons, 63 games, 439 shooting percentage, 14 games per. Odesi Tony, he was there 3 seasons, transferred to Arkansas, not too much there. Gilbert Brown, I like Gilbert Brown, and he's from the Harrisburg, PA area, so he's from Central PA. He's forward, 5 seasons, 29 games, 463 shooting percentage, 8 points per game. And then Tyrell Biggs.
Biggs.
Tyrell Biggs, he had 141 games over 4 seasons, 476 shooting percentage. Not bad, but he only had 4 points per game. So that's a list of my Panthers, and I'll let you read the list of your Mountaineers.
All right. Well, you got the guy at the top of the list who's going to win this for sure. Pat White, broke every record for a dual threat quarterback. Chris Henry was really good, but he didn't play very much. And so his career is not even close to Pat White. The rest of those guys, were good players, but no need to even go over their stuff. Kevin Jones, Jay Sean Page, and Greg Jones. Which Greg Jones is that, I wonder? The first one? Probably the first one. There was a Greg Jones that was really good, like way back in the '80s. But
Oh, this is the second one. Yeah.
WVU was playing.
No, this might have been that.
Was playing in the Eastern 8. I think Pitt was too when Greg Jones was there. I think they were still in the Eastern 8. That was a long ass time.
Oh my God, yeah, I remember that. Oh my, that's right.
But Kevin Jones would definitely win on the basketball side, but nobody compares to number 5, Pat White. So he would be the WVU representative in this here tournament. You picking the Pitt representative?
For the Pitt representative, I would go with Gilbert Brown. He's the guy that I would have said made the biggest difference and biggest impact wearing number 5. Gilbert Brown going up against Pat White. I have to lean towards Pat White on that one. So, I mean, as much as I like Gilbert Brown, I don't think there's a question of what Pat White did for West Virginia Mountaineer football. Now, we have to move our way back up, and let's take a look at the Penguins. Who are we looking at the Penguins as the one that would represent uniform number 5?
I'm going with Ulf, man, because I love his name. Remember the banner up in the rafters that said Ulf, Ulf, Ulf? And then he teamed up with Shell Samuelson, no relation. But
yes,
I love watching those teams.
I agree with you that Ulf Samuelson would be the
Ulf.
guy. Yes. All right, now let's go to the Steelers real quick. Should be a pretty easy one. And the pick is between Craig Colquitt, a punter, and Terry Hanratty, a quarterback.
Can we just eliminate the Steelers in this contest tonight?
Well, let's keep it going. We got to get down to the 4. And then the Pirates. What's your thought on the Buccos?
Oh, man.
I know.
As much as I want to go with Mad Dog, I just think Arky Vaughn is the bigger Bucco legend. You know? I mean, his number's retired, right? Isn't Arky Vaughn's number retired at PNC Park?
He's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, I'm not positive of that, but I should know that. But I'm going with Arky Vaughn. What about you? You can go with Mad Dog.
I'm falling in love with Mad Dog. God, I mean, the 70s baseball, Mad Dog itself, but I mean, we got to come out with a winner. So if we're going to look at it, is this a standpoint of longevity? Is this a standpoint of playoffs and coming in with a World Series, or is it the fact that Arky was a Hall of Fame guy and Mad Dog's not even close? So
you can easily talk me into Bill Madlock. That'll be an easy sell.
But again, all right. So, but you look at Arky. Arky's 10 seasons versus 7 seasons. Mad Dog, 1,411 hits or games. So he played another 600 games more than Mad Dog. He had 900 more hits. His batting average is 324 over 297. He had 84 home runs to 68 home runs of Mad Dog. And he had 764 ribbies, while Mad Dog only had 390. Now, I get that this is only 7 seasons with Madlock, with the Pirates. And he was with the Cubs for a while before, I think, Pittsburgh. No, he was with the Giants. Then he was with Pittsburgh, and I think he went to the Cubs. I get his season. His career would have been longer. But we're talking about just the Pirates. So, I mean, it's painful, I want to say. Arky's probably the guy that you got to go with.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Bucco legend. So, and Madlock played in the same era with Pops and so many other great players. So I say you go Arky.
So the 4 finalists right now are Terry Hanratty, Arky Vaughn, Ulf Samuelson, and Pat White. So let's just eliminate one right now. And I'm going to assume that we can both agree on the first one we should eliminate.
Yeah,
and
the
it
Steelers
would be
are disqualified from this whole thing in my eyes. So,
right. So Terry Hanratty's out. So now we've got Arky, Ulf, and Pat White. So who's the next one we're looking at?
I don't know. I mean, we're talking pro versus college here, so we have to eliminate. Yeah, I thought we weren't gonna have a college winner and a pro winner. We're gonna have just one winner.
Yeah.
Because Pat White did not have a great pro career. He fizzled out in 2 years with the Redskins. So if you're just talking
don't even worry about the pros. Don't even worry about the pros. It's what he did as a Mountaineer, what they did as a Pitt Panther.
I think that Pat White, what he did at WVU is equal to what Arky Vaughn did for the Pirates. I mean, he won 4 bowl games. You know, if you take away the 13-9 game with Pitt,
I'm sorry, who won that game?
If you take that away, he probably would be a national champion. So, I mean, as far as an individual player goes, I think you got to go with him. Now, Ulf Samuelson won, 2 Stanley Cups, and you can't discount that. And the magnitude of the sporting world, that would trump 4 bowl game wins. So, at the end of the day, I'm probably going Ulf if you had to, if you absolutely had to make a choice. How about you?
I mean, with your long dissertation on everything that you've got and everything you said, I would have went with Ulf probably 5 minutes ago. But you make a good point, though. So we're talking about a college career of a quarterback, the position to take a team anywhere, versus a Penguin who is a defender, who has to be part of a unit to be victorious. And then you have a guy that played for the Pirates that was like incredibly
dominated,
awesome as one individual, even though it's a part of a team that went absolutely nowhere. So the individual stats on that guy are incredible. So I would go,
this
yes,
is similar to when we were talking about Ralph Kiner.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does his effect on the team matter in this discussion? It's interesting. But it's the same thing. Arky Vaughn and Ralph Kiner had the same effect on the Pirates. They were losing teams, but they were great individual performances. Ulf was on Stanley Cup winning hockey teams. Pat White won 4 bowl games and rarely lost, period. So that's a tough one. It's a pro versus college thing. And Pat White couldn't have done it without teammates, without Steve Slayton and others.
All right.
You're going to have to make a choice.
Now we're down to Arky versus Patrick White.
We eliminated Ulf. Yeah,
We eliminated Ulf.
Arky versus Pat White. What did you think in the history of podcasting that anybody would match these two men up in a winner-take-all for the uniform number 5? I'm going with Pat White, baby. I'm going with Pat White. I'm sorry. Arky's like 137 years old. Pat's still kicking. If Pat watches this, he'll at least appreciate it. I doubt if Arky Vaughn's great-great-granddaughter is going to reach out to us and say that he got robbed.
She wants to come on. She wants to come on.
If she comes on, we'll flip it.
I got no problem with bringing her on and talking to her. To be honest with you, I love Arky's stats. I think Arky's stats are awesome. The unfortunate part is Arky played in the 30s, played on a terrible Pirates team, was a shortstop, third baseman. I mean, the stats that frickin' Pat White put up over 4 seasons are bloody incredible. So I'd have to agree with you, even being a Pitt Panther fan, that Pat White deserves to be
you beat him.
The athlete.
Pitt Panthers beat
the
Pat
best
White.
athlete to wear. They did. I get it.
Yep.
13-9. I
can't take that away.
Pat Bostic was the QB, and Wannstedt was on crutches, and Scott McKillop was the middle linebacker. Got all those things. But I would have to agree with you that Pat White would be the winner on this one right now. So I would like to honor Pat White as the best athlete in Western PA to wear the uniform number 5. And Pat, if you get a chance, call us. We'll be happy to interview you.
That's very gracious of you, and I think he will come on at some point, as will Pat Bostic, who's also a Hillbilly Yinzer. So, yeah, that's it. Pat White wins the number 5. So
wins the number 5.
That was probably one of the better 1 through 99ers that we've done. So if
they're
you're
getting closer
to that,
as we go up. They're getting closer.
I hope that you enjoyed that, and if you disagree in any way, shoot us a note at podcast@hillbillyinzer.com. Just go to our website.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get everybody's opinions and everybody's thoughts on the Pirates, best Pirates team not to win a World Series, to even your thoughts on the number 5 uniform or any of the other ones that we select. But we're coming to the end of the podcast. Again, another little shout out to John Crawford and Crawford's Black and Gold. And do we want to hit our very last segment real quick in time for the remainder of the Steeler football game in preseason that they are still losing 3-0 against the Green Bay Packers.
What would that be?
We got our Jagoff of the week.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got our
Badass.
badass HillbillYinzer.
Okay.
And then we've got the Pit Pit and the West Virginia Moonshine Minute, which could be two tough ones to come up with right now.
Yeah, let's just go with
I'm just saying.
badass and Jagoff of the week. Who's your Jagoff of the week?
Oh, Jesus, my Jagoff of the week. I mean, it should be Cherrington Jagoff of the week. Cherrington sponsors Jagoff of the week. The guy's the
Of
Jagoff.
the decade.
The guy's
He's the sponsor
Jagoff,
of the
period.
Jagoff of the week. So you got to come up with somebody else.
Yeah. So we have to come up with somebody else who can Jagoff of the week. And, my next Jagoff of the week would be Karen Rodgers. So Karen's my Jagoff of the week. Karen
I knew you were
Rodgers,
going
the
with
quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is my Jagoff of the week. I don't need to say any more. I'm just, he fires, it's same. He's a Jagoff. He's a Jagoff of the week. It's Karen Rodgers. All right. You, man.
Karen Rod. Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. Aaron, a.k.a. Karen Rodgers, would have to be the Jagoff of the week for just making statements. Not only the Fauci thing, but today it came out that practice was getting a little too intense, so he got on the headset and started telling dad jokes and trying to get everybody to calm down and just have fun. And I've kind of been done with Aaron Rodgers since the helmet debacle. And I know we've talked about that before, but if you're going to say that you've got complete control over the play calling and that you're audibleizing on every play and that you don't need Arthur Smith to signal you anything or radio you anything, but then you turn around and have the helmet debacle game happen where he's running out there with Mason Rudolph's helmet and calling 2 of our 3 timeouts because he says he can't hear Arthur. I've kind of been done with Karen since then. So the fact that he did the dad jokes thing today on the headsets, or not today, but yesterday at their warm-up practice, he's the Jagoff of the week, and I think he's going to be a repeat winner of that. So the Ben Cherrington Memorial Jagoff of the week, in my eyes, and Veej's, goes to Karen Rodgers. What about your badass?
My badass has been a tough one because I was thinking about it for the last day or so, but after I think our boy today went down and stopped the bleeding with the Marlins, you gotta give Ashcraft. The dude's just a badass. I mean, coming off what he came off, pitching the way he's pitched this year, his wins, his losses, the innings that he's at right now, his ERA is not that bad as well. He's been sticking in there, handling it, dealing with the adversity. Adversity. What's the word I'm looking for? Thank you. Adversity. I got to give him my badass HillbillYinzer of the week. Cheers to him, man. He's been doing a hell of a job from that pitching staff. Hasn't been a problem. Hasn't been a complainer, a whiner, nothing. So I give him a lot of kudos to be that sturdiness.
Yeah, and I was thinking about going with Braxton Ashcraft as well, but I'm going to go with Asante Samuel Jr. Just because he's taken training camp so seriously. And I watched a little bit of the first quarter tonight, and the guy looks like he's going to be back to where he was, a couple of years back. And that's going to be refreshing, to see the Steelers' cornerback play improve, whether Porter comes back or not. I'm sure he will. So I'll go with Asante Samuel Jr. with a honorable mention to Mason Montgomery, Bucco reliever, whose stats have been freaking great since the All-Star game. But, we'll go with Samuel for the badass.
Nice.
So that pretty much concludes it, huh, buddy? The
Yes,
other
it
stuff
does.
We'll put together in another feature.
Yes, we will. We'll have a lot of good features to talk about as well as we'll continue with the best Western PA athlete to wear uniform number 6.
6.
Next time.
Coming up.
6. 6
That's
is
going to
coming
be
up.
a good one.
Yes,
All right. Well, hey, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Let us know in the comments on YouTube if you have any suggestions for topics. And we appreciate you. And Vate, I'll catch up with you next week.
Hey, Gus. It was good talking to you. Thank you very much for your time. You all take care out there. Love you. Bye.
All right. Christian Leitner.